We've been battling with issues of mining over the years, and things we've read indicate that BC 6,000 mining and everything here and there. Now we are confronted with the biggest menace, Galamsey. Can we ever get over this?
Yes.
How? With the current report from Professor Frimpong-Boateng and everything.
Oh, Professor Frimpong-Boateng's report is saying there's no political will. Summary. The political will to deal with it was lost. Now,
so it's a hearsay, boss.
I'm saying what his report said. Even if it's hearsay, that's what it's saying.
And the president says it's a hearsay.
Okay. Hearsay from the Home Minister? Possibly. Like we are waiting. We are clear in our mind that things we thought were rumors are now being brought to the fore. So we had heard the rumor that, oh, people were doing galamsey in the backyard of the president's home. It was a rumor. We thought it was propaganda, social media type issue. Now it's in the minister's report.
But we went to Chebi, took videos last year and showed it on TV.
So there we have it. You see, so it may, I mean, what is hearsay? Which part of the report is hearsay? There are some factual issues in the report, which you have just confirmed. So how was the person who did that, how were they treated? Was they given a mining license to mine at the backyard of the president's house? So if there was no license, the person who was there doing that, what has happened to him? Impunity. So I am clear in my mind that political will is what lack of it is what Professor Frimpong-Boateng is saying. And if you really want to deal with it, you must prosecute some people. And that is why we are asking for an inquiry. That should be at the level of Parliament, and also the special prosecutor should get involved, because the contents of that report are extremely, extremely damning and damaging. The importance of it, even if Charles Bishop is now telling us that it was a figure of speech, when the president said, I put my presidency on the line, all of a sudden it's a figure of speech. But even if it's a figure of speech, it tells you the importance placed on it at the time. So what the report is telling us that actually there was no real political will to deal with mining. Now, you make a very important point, which is that mining has existed, as President Kufuor would say, on other matters, since the time of Adam. So it is also with prostitution and other factors. The question is the degree to which you allow it to go. To eradicate it completely forever and ever, it's not like malaria or an illness. It's a human trend. So you have to have things in place to slow it down and stop it. It's there. What has changed the dynamics now? One machine is creating problem for us. It's called an excavator. Because what people used to use, shovel, stones, and to go and do, now this machine comes, removes trees, removes the vegetation, digs, and they bring in water at the side, and using cyanide and all kinds of things. So they focused on one area, which was good, which was the excavators. And then the political will to deal with that fell apart. So if you don't have the political will, you are never going to succeed, because it is money.
But we've had these problems over the years through all the administrations. If you check J.J. Rawlins's time in 1990, father in the
there were no excavators.
I mean, you come to J.A. Kufuor, Prof. Samuels, John Dramani Mahama, now it's Nanado's turn. Galamsey.
Why is it important?
Are you politicians benefiting from it?
Some politicians are benefiting.
Who are those some?
Captain, I don't have names. I haven't investigated anybody.
But you know some.
But we know that politicians are. And the rot to which it has deteriorated. Big names are involved in it, so it cannot work. And we are sweeping everything on them. And why is it important? Why is it gone so bad? Because now it is even costing us, because our water bodies and our environment is completely lost. I mean, when you look at the quality of water, It means that technically there's no fish or anything in that water. That is worth thinking about. Your vegetation, personally, there are certain regions, without saying that when I get there, I won't go to a chop bar and eat again. Because there are criteria that they have put there. I know what water it was drinking. I know what it is, and I know what health hazards I'm putting in my body. I will not. Because what vegetation was that animal eating before it's on my plate? The fish that you have taken, which river did it come from? And so once I know that I enter into a certain catchment area, I don't go to what we used to love. Part of the trips if you go abroad, oh, I've gone to the local chop bar, this place is specific for I don't do it again. Certain areas I'll carry my food and go. Don't go and bring me, because I don't know where the animal came from. We are getting sick. One of the biggest problems for us as a people is non-communicable diseases. The cancers, the kidney, the liver, all those things. So the communicable ones, which this government has also failed us on in terms of vaccines that would stop them and whatnot. We know about them. But now we have a dual problem, and it's increasing. So every day you turn around, somebody has got a kidney problem. The number of people who need dialysis, the number of people who have got hypertension, the number of people who have got issues to do with cancer, increasing. And it's because of the food that we are eating. You are what you eat. So if you think that in the old days where you go to the village, that's when you know that you are eating healthy, because the tomatoes has come fresh. Everything, there's no tin, everything is fresh. Your green is there, everything.
That's right.
Now you cannot rely on that in the village anymore.
Sure.
Actually, the village is now more dangerous
than the
certain areas. It's now more dangerous than certain areas. So we have a big problem. And the government is actually failed us. Let me be very, because it's a question of degree, where we have allowed it to get to. And that's not to say that it didn't happen in the past.
It doesn't look like you politicians are willing, actually, to deal with this menace.
You know,
you come, you go, you talk about it, you politicize it, make it look that good, that when I am in power, I will do A, B, C, D, Z to eradicate this menace. But when power is handed over to you, we face the same issue.
If you do not deal with sanction, look, a whole military officer is killed because of Galamsey, and we are where we are. We as a people and the political will of power must be clearly demonstrated that we will not tolerate. Now, it goes, to be fair, there are two issues. People need a source of income. Why I don't agree with what is happening now is that it is, if you are destroying a cocoa farm because of Galamsey, because cocoa will not bring you that amount of money that gold may bring you, then it's totally wrong. Because at the end of the day, you will still get money from cocoa. So it's a question of how greedy you want to be, because you think that gold is, because it's not legal what you're doing. But if in those areas where there is no source of income, they haven't got the farming capability, or you have too many youth, then it becomes, so what as a government, one of the things the government always has to have at the back of its mind when you're talking of the Galamsey menace is alternative sources of income for the youth, because they are easily exploited, they easily jump into this, and even when there is no excavator, they will use them.
How different is your next government going to be? Are you going to create more jobs?
Well, that is why I say that not to identify the problem and understand what the issues are is not going to be able to, it's not rhetoric. Don't come and say, oh, we are going to get rid of Galamsey overnight. No. You must identify it, look at what programs have been put in place. But the most important thing is you must have the political will, and you must apply sanctions.